Hi, I'm Robert. Welcome to my channel. This is a reading from my latest book, My Nineveh, The Cross Between Psychedelics and the Church. It is available now on Amazon. If you'd like to support my work, please like and subscribe, and consider purchasing a copy from the link in the description below. Chapter 13, Reintroduction of Science. An obvious question is, what then of science? Science is still an exceptional tool, but it is limited in scope. Its limits are the contents of the dream. It is exceptional at cutting the dream into ever finer slices of the dualistic pie. We should engage in scientific inquiry with curiosity and integrity. We are learning about the divine through creation. However, we should not make the mistake of the 20th century of elevating this intellectual pursuit above the direct experience of the divine, or in place of God. Science, by definition, is limited to objective experience, that which can be observed from multiple perspectives. However, reality also contains, and is in a very real sense, created by subjectivity. Our entire experience of reality is subjective. It is true that our subjective interpretations of reality are prone to being faulty, and science as a process is a good check against those inclinations. However, it does not get around the fact that everything we experience, 100% of our entire reality, is subjective. To place subjectivity in a lesser category than objectivity is to deny ourselves. One area that needs even more study right now at this crucial time in history is a set of substances known as psychedelics. These items are a part of reality and yet give an experience that is somehow behind the veil to the creative realms and non-dual experience of God. Compared to the more risky endeavors that cause a near-death experience, or the time spent to develop a meditation practice, psychedelics reliably offer a direct experience of consciousness absent form. Though this type of data must necessarily be subjective reports, we should still apply scientific rigor to whatever data comes out of these reports rather than dismiss them out of hand because they do not fit our culture's materialist assumptions. One way to frame the consensus reality we live in is as the image of conscious process. If I get a cut, the image of that is the bloody contusion of my arm. It mirrors the pain I feel in my conscious perception. It is not that one causes the other, though we often attribute causation. Rather, one is the third person perspective, and the other is a first person perspective. The relationship is correlation, not causation. There are several key, well-known scientific ideas that point to the non-dual nature of reality. It is the equivalent of seeing the boundaries or limits of the dream. Across these, you cannot go using the scientific method. Here are a few of those limits. 1. Unification of mass and energy. Einstein's famous equation, E equals mc squared, showed the unity and interchangeability of mass and energy, as well as space and time. Mass and energy are dualistic forms of one underlying substrate. 2. Quantum mechanics. At the bedrock of all existence, what can best be described as a field of vibrating nothing. We cannot detect this field directly, but we can describe how it moves and detect particles when the field coalesces into them. This creation of particles is also linked to consciousness. Number 3, the point source of magnets. All magnets must contain both north and south poles. It is impossible to have one without the other. To understand magnets, we must understand counterspace, the other side of reality through which the north and south poles manifest. It is another example of the unseeable sustaining our reality. The non-dual nature of magnets emanates from that source. 4, black holes. These objects are a mass so large that they lose the ability to stay in this side of reality. Instead, they become a point source object in counterspace, affecting this reality with their gravitational pull. Number 5, the eternal now. This concept is slippery, but its strangeness is highlighted with a thought experiment. We know that as a perspective, human, clock, spaceship, etc., approaches the speed of light, time slows down for them. If we had two people of the same age and sent one of them on a very fast trip away from and back to Earth, and then looked at their ages, the one who went on the trip would age slower than the one who remained on Earth. But our comparison between them would be this elusive concept of now. Somehow for each of them it is always now, but one has the memory of more time than the other. What is this now, and how can one have more of it than the other? Now always reconciles equally for every being in the universe, but our accumulation of memories, both in our minds and encoded in our bodies, changes based on the relative velocities of the perspectives in question. You cannot have more now than me. You cannot use science to escape now, which is our window into eternity.